is my first vlog since baby has arrived. Baby turned 1 month on Tuesday, the 5th of August, and this is literally the first time I am out since I gave birth. So I'm looking for a blanket and yeah, there's just a couple of things that I want to get that had I sent my husband to get them for me, he was definitely gonna get one thing, so I figured I should come to the mall myself. Yo, I had forgotten that I am vlogging and the morning has started. Right now, I'm feeding baby. So I had pumped and my husband was feeding her from the bottle, but she wanted to feed from mommy's breast instead of the bottle. So now I'm feeding baby and my husband is washing dishes and making us breakfast at the same time. So yeah, that's what's happening this morning.
bittersweet. Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees.
But our next fireside chat is a phenomenal one, ladies and gentlemen. It's one that really underpins the leadership that we are celebrating here in the room today, and women who have walked the journey ahead of us. For many of us, as we look across the room, we really are fortunate to witness the multi-generations that are reflected here. And as Shivani mentioned, she referenced her grandmother. Leila mentioned that she herself is a grandmother with a grandchild and looking to contribute to their level of understanding, wealth, and what life looks like for them. And what this tells us is that for every generation, there's a generation ahead and behind that have certainly left an indelible mark within society and created impact.
That it's important that calm and resilience is portrayed to everybody. And when I walked through this empty building during COVID, I kept reminding myself, my calm is the oxygen that everybody will learn from. And so all of these things, the lessons, the bias that I may have experienced when I was in the financial environment, the crucibles that I experienced, have all taught me about the power and the importance of resilience. And they've all developed two things in me. Firstly, they've taught me about empathy. Remembering when my child was fighting for his breath reminds me that other people have their own crucibles and their own issues that they're dealing with.
Was this idea of a life strategy, which I found very interesting. How many of us have a life strategy? You've written down a strategy for my life. Okay. Prof is going to school you here, so please pay attention. Over to you, Prof.
Thank you, Casey. Greetings to all of the investors in the room, and a special greeting to Leila Forey, the CEO of the JSE, a friend and a supporter of Trek for Mandela, caring for girls. Thank you. Casey, let me firstly clarify the jailbed thing, which was what my mom referred to me when I came out. It was detention without trial in the 80s. So just to clarify that part, it was political detention without trial. And we've been taught this morning about investment, about what you want to happen during your lifetime and after your lifetime. And your strategic plan would allow you to determine where you put your money, for example, if it's about money, but where you go with your career. Let me just quickly say what happened with my career. I was asked to come to Parliament in 1994. It was a given. There were 10 of us drawn from our relationship, our background in COSATU. The others were in COSATU, I was at CALS. I said no because it was not aligned to my purpose in life. When I finished my term as a pop protector, I got so many invitations to take up opportunities, and I chose to go to Harvard for a year. And then, of all of the jobs that I was given, the job I took at Stellenbosch University was the least glamorous and least paying of those jobs. But it's the most satisfying for me because I wasn't looking for glamour. I wasn't looking for pay, although it's good to be paid. I was looking for something that would give me a sense of purpose, or that would be aligned to my sense of purpose in my life blueprint. From Charlotte McQuaid and Olive Schreiner in the 19th century to people like Helen Suzman and Lillian Goy in more recent times, and say, no, a lot of things that we think are difficult, we think are impossible, are just difficult.
Difficult, not impossible. And I like the 4 things you've said: purpose, commitment, plan, and follow through.
Right, an immediate disclaimer. Firstly, I'm not a financial advisor. Secondly, whatever I tell you from here on in is not financial advice. Go speak to your financial advisor about that. Thirdly, it is my lived experience. And fourthly, I am pro-men. So, but a man is not a plan. Ladies, 80% of men will die married, and 80% of women will die alone. So, your man is probably going to die before you, or he's going to get ill, or you're going to get divorced, or he's got another lady with children outside of your marriage. This is the reality. So you need your own financial plan. I did not have my own financial plan before my husband died. But I needed to double my income. Because we were married, and because of my generation, this was the second salary. Anybody in this room earning the second salary? It's just a mindset. And because it was a second salary, I was not fighting to be paid what my male colleagues were being paid. I was being paid between 30 and 50% less than my male-speaking colleagues, even though I was just as good. I was always negotiable. Any client could ask me for a discount because I was just the second salary. I wasn't holding on to my worth. I did not have any wealth creation investments of my own. Our investment strategy was deeply flawed. If there's money left over at the end of the month, we'll invest it. Well, ladies, you know there's never money left at the end of the month. Never. There's always more months left at the end of your money.
Do not get married in community of property, and we'll probably get a chance to unpack why.
Let's unpack that now.
So one of the major things of being married in community of property is that firstly, that's where the danger is. Secondly, a lot of the time when the deceased estate is being wound up, those joint accounts are also frozen until the end of the process of the winding up. Now, on paper, the winding up process takes 6 to 12 months, but in reality, it can be 3 to 5 to 10 years. And if you're married in community of property, even if you happen to move on, those are assets or money that you'll never be able to access until the 3, 5, or 10-year mark. And the uncertainty is just too big of a risk to take on. Actually very sad for me, which is when I then came to realize that it's impossible to help everyone. So the daughter of the deceased was in a private school, and we tried to then enter into an undertaking that we are on top of the winding up process as the attorneys of the surviving spouse and ultimately the deceased estate, and that once the estate has been wound up, we'll then pay all the outstanding school fees. The dad died tragically from a car accident, and obviously there was no plan put in place for death, basically, in this case. The education saver also took a few months to pay out, but in the meantime, the school was just harassing the mom, the surviving spouse, wanting school fees to be paid, and the mom had no access to these funds. She had no backup plan, and we also weren't even able to give that undertaking as attorneys. The private school wasn't accepting it
to a point where she wasn't able to write her final grade 11 exams. And that's just too big a risk to take for your children.
Cost of death is also high. So I want to share a slide with you about my liquidity timeline after my husband's death, because this is how it really goes down. If we can have that slide on the screen. Our tech team, can you get it up, please? Okay, so this is what happened. 36 hours after my husband's death, my financial advisor comes to give me the high level of where I found myself financially. Then, personal life insurance, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier. Personal life insurance is really important because it does not pay into the estate. It pays into your bank account. And that enabled me and my family to survive, because this is what it looked like. The funeral policy paid out 6 weeks after death. My husband was employed, so there was group risk cover. Most funeral policies pay out a lot quicker than that. Short-term insurance claims, we had blood spatter in our house, we had to have a lot of stuff, cleaned, we had to replace things that were stolen. The group risk policy, and if any of you are employed in corporate, you will have a group risk policy which has your pension, your medical aid, it has maybe some life insurance. That kicks in after the second salary after death. So you get 2 salaries. Then we have, this is very slow, there was a medical aid extender policy that kicked in 3 months later. Gap cover is essential. That even has accidental death cover, amongst other things, and extra trauma counselling cover. The education extender policy we had kicked in, it took 11, 12 months for it to kick in. I had to pay for my son's first year of university. Where's the cash, ladies?
Yeah.
What's your cash lever? This is a very important question. And then the pension, which is where we'll pick up, took 11 months to pay out, because even though I was the sole heir, it actually goes to a committee, and they do a dependency analysis. So they look at who's the most dependent, and I had my 2 boys, and one had finished university, one was going to university, and then there was me. My eldest son got a very small amount. Our youngest son got more than him because it was the education backup, and I got the lion's share. It still wasn't very much.
So when we came out, there was a coffee the 2 other ladies. Oh, I see. Oh, take the other way. Take the other way.
It's going to come inside.
So we're going to start with some rapid fire questions. Okay, are you ready? What's your get up and go song? That I just got paid, I just got my dividends.
Guilty.
Which one is guilty?
Gladys Nice.
Can you sing it?
It's 2 strikes against me when I come out to bed.
Who knows it?
1 strike for being feeble.
You guys know the song?
1 strike for being black. So I stand tall through it all. My head up high.
Okay.
I know that I'll be female and black.
Hey!
If pitch is good, I'll include them next month. If their pitch is, I'll give them 3-4 months. But the idea is for them to learn that in this household, we have a plan,
Yeah.
we have a budget,
Yeah.
and we won't, deviate from that.
I love that because there's no instant gratification, which
No.
is the
Nah.
reason why a lot of us get in a big mess. What are 3 financial dues?
An FU fund.
Okay. Okay.
Besides the emergency fund, the FU fund will hold you down when you need to get the F out of a place. Be it a job, be it a relationship, be it a marriage, but it's that money that will help you say, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah. Options.
Because umama this Malian pundu, meaning only you and you know about that. Not even your children know about that. Only you and you know about that.
Okay.
Do keep that.
Okay.
2, do not allow the store to dictate how and when you spend. It's your money. You decide where it goes, when it goes.
Sure.
So a store can say, sale. Keep walking, go.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
There. And finally, and I should have made this number 1, do talk about money everywhere. My wish is for us as females and as a country as a whole to do to money what we've been able to do to sex.
Yeah.
We talk about sex everywhere.
All day.
Let's talk about money everywhere.
Things that have really helped me, not only to make good decisions. You won't always make good decisions, but you can try your best. You can try your best every single time. And I always say, when you know better, you'll always do better. So I think today I'm just so happy, so honored to be in a room filled with so many amazing women. Women who are intentional, women who have started, women who have an aligned future. So I thought, I don't have a very long time, but I was asked to speak about how to become your biggest investor. And investor not in a financial term, but what are the other key components that have helped me become my biggest investor, have helped me become or create this incredible personal brand that people have come to know me by. My name is Bonang Dorothy Mateba. I am 38 years old, I beg your pardon. Just celebrated my 30th birthday the other day, and I was born on my Fikeng in the Northwest Province. So loudly and proudly South African. And I started my career at the age of 15 years old. I was an on-air personality. That's what we call them, television, radio, TV presenter. I started at the age of 15, and fast forward 5 years ago, I launched the House of B&G, which is a luxury beverage line, and we make the most delicious sparkling wine you've ever had. But there are other things that get triggered as soon as you make the decision to start. Whether you want to start a career, whether you want to start studying, whether you want to get thinner, whether you want to get married, whether you want to have a baby, whether you want to move to another country, whatever it is, the key to a clear, good roadmap is to start. I want to read you something here from Sharon Grossman. It says, after you start, right? And this is what I did. I remember at the age of 15, I was watching television. I was like, my mom, I want to be on television. I was really inspired, watching similar groups, watching, all the continuity presenters. I said, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And she said, well, you need to start. What are you going to do? Okay. I want to be a TV presenter, so what's the roadmap to becoming a TV presenter? Shoulders of giants, But thank you very much, I'll take that. It's something that I'm very proud of. And it's something that I have stuck to from the age of 15. It's counting down very quickly, and I'm only on 0.5. But at the age of 15, like I said, I started and I created my intentions, and my intentions were very clear. And you know why I love intentions? Because how you feel, man. Again, how I feel, no. Intentions, when something is intentional, it's purposeful, it's valuable, it channels your focus. How sing it, how sing it now? Because time is money, right? So when you've started, you're intentional. This is what an intention does. It channels and focuses your energy. And you know what happens? Things around you start happening. It's almost like the universe fixes itself to get you to where you want to go. I believe in manifestations. Hallelujah. I believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So I do. I really do. There's a lot in what I've done and where I've gone that He has really just directed me. But something about intention focuses your soul. And when you are intent, let me tell you something about time. You have time, but you don't want to waste time. Right? Because it was sometimes it's so leave it so that I know, and then if there's somebody just, there are 12 somebody, please just interpret for those. But yeah. All I'm saying is, you know what, this is something I had to learn, and I learned very, very recently about identifying and finding and sometimes creating your own opportunities. Something else that I want you to take from here is that learn to have an appreciation for risk. Learn to have an appreciation for risk. I have to finish, but the most important thing for me, well, I have another 2 points, but this is my last one. Community. I'm gonna end this here, community. You know, as I go and as I grow and as I know in my 38 years of life, you need to build and invest in your community, in whatever way or form it looks like, in your business, your friends and family, mentors and coaches. Invest in your community. You know, as I grow, I'm 38 years old. But what I realize is that if you've invested in other people, they will be there when you need them the most. It's not linear, and it does not stop. Growing does not stop. Knowing does not stop. Going does not stop. And if you can start, if you are intentional, if you invest in personal development and invest in your community, that's all you need.
I think you can see the level of engagement that you've had so far. I'm totally going to squeeze in 2 questions. I'm scared.
Hey guys, I just got back from the event that I went to at JSE today. They have an annual event in celebration of Women's Month every year in August. This year was their 8th anniversary, and I just got home. When I got back, I had to like quickly change because my breasts like were full of milk and I had to pump. I just want to quickly show you what's in the goodie bag that they gave us at the event. This is how the goodie bag looks. Inside has this magazine by JSE. And then what else? And then we got this like journal. And a JSE pen. A body spray from Dove, but it's for men. I'm not sure why would they put like a men body spray in the bag, but yeah. And then, I don't know what are these, but yeah. Well, ooh, and then this as well. So the event was also sponsored by L'Oreal Paris, and then we got this innovation glyco-like bright instant glowing serum. And 2 other samples from Dove as well. It's the Dove Advanced Care Deeply Nourishing Shower Gel, and then the body cream. That's all that's in the goodie bag. And then I bought this book from the event. It's called Woman in Business, and then the author interviews in the book the author interviews various women in business. For instance, the JSE group CEOs also part of the book. Who else as well? Mary Vilagazi. I think she's from the First Rent group. I don't remember which position she holds. And then Prof. Tsulima Densala as well. And then I got like a signature from the author Casey, Leila, and Tsulima Densala. Baby's crying for me now, so I'm wrapping this vlog here. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy it. Thank you for viewing the previous videos that I've posted so far. I've gotten an insane amount of viewing. It's small, but for a person who recently started, it's an insane amount. So thank you guys for the views, the likes, the subscribe.
Keep diving into concrete, so bittersweet. keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just